What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Across the Board, Super Bowl edition, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. Guys, there's a lot of us today. We have the A team here. We have everybody from the NFL season on the Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics team, to break down the final game of the year. Gentlemen, I've been looking forward to the show all season long. JD, how are you today, brother?
And I'm doing great. Yeah, man, it's like really cool to see us like all like here on the same screen here. This actually show today should be our best one yet.
Could not agree more. Ben, over to you. How are you today, brother?
Absolutely feeling the vibes coming into the weekend. It's a Super Bowl weekend, and I know this is a Super Bowl show, but we also have a great weekend of other sports as well. We have UFC tomorrow. So it's just going to be a great weekend, capped off by the Super Bowl Sunday night. How can you not just be absolutely amped up on this beautiful Friday?
Some of the best times of the year are about to be upon us. Jammer, over to you. How are you today? Still rocking the Steelers jersey.
Had to rock my boy Kenny Pickett today. Shout out to him for making it to the Super Bowl this weekend. But yeah, man, it feels like the Avengers assembling here with all of us getting together for this big show here. I'm super excited.
Same here. Hefe, over to you, bro. How are you today? And by the way, Hefe, your boy's here early. Your boy is here early. Mr. Brunson Stinks is here early. And he's giving you a warm greeting, brother. How are you today? Say hello to your boy Brunson Stinks, or Jerry is his name.
I have been told by the higher-ups I must stick to a schedule today.
Oh, so here we go.
I apologize if I don't go off on a rant, but F that guy. Let's get to it, guys. I mean, a lot of things to talk about. Big game. I'm super excited to look at it at every single angle that we're going to look at it.
Absolutely. So you boys ready to dive into the game lines? We're starting hot. We're going to go right in to this game. You boys ready to do that?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. 1 second here so I can find the NFL transition because it's right here. We're going into some NFL action, and I think you guys know what the game is going to be. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Chiefs are favored by 1.5 points. Total is sitting at 48.5. The lines really haven't moved much, except for this morning. We've seen slight movement towards the Eagles, which is a little surprising in my opinion. JD, we're going to start with you. What do you think about this game? Who do you like in this game? And what's your breakdown?
You know, when we first kind of started talking about this game, that was almost actually like two extra weeks ago now.
Yeah.
You know, like we actually did some like quick thoughts, and I believe that we all said Chiefs. For me, I think that was a little bit early, and I just got a little bit too like caught up in the Chiefs and their three-peat and the refs, and just like all of that. But as the week has actually gone on, and I've broken this game down more, guys, the Eagles are just the clear better team here. I mean,
interesting.
I mean, like to me, I literally think, pretty much everywhere, they are the actually better actually team here. Like going against Reed here, yes, there's not going to be fun, because he's going to coach this game very, very well, and I definitely know that. But to me, this like line, I have to go with the Eagles here. Joe, you took it right actually from me, man. I'll actually go ahead and tell you my actually best bet for this game is Eagles -2.5 at +124.
How did Joe know that? That was amazing.
That was amazing. But yes, Joe, I'll actually over that. The Chiefs is actually like as far as actually like defenses that they faced, who's been the best that they faced actually so far during the playoffs? I mean, actually like the Bills. Well, I can go ahead and tell you this actually week is a totally different beast. Totally different beast. And actually then on the other side, the Eagles can do what has to be done. And by that, I mean, they can take their time. We've actually talked about it all season, how these Eagles go on these long drives.
Yeah.
And just kill time. That's what they are great at. And keeping that Chiefs offense off the field is actually going to be one of the extra keys here. And that I think they're going to be able to like do. And I think the Chiefs defense is honestly going to have a hard time shutting this Eagles team down. Because as far as the run game, you got to figure out a way to stop them. And they have to load the box. Like they're gonna have to try out some different things, but that's gonna leave the outside open. You're gonna have Brown. I mean, I'm actually like expecting him to have a very big game here. To me, I did not think that this was where I was going to be.
Yeah.
But to me, the Eagles are just that better team.
What do you think about the total, JD? J-Bo is in the comments, and shout out J-Bo, shout out Joe, shout out Brunson Stinks, all you guys in the comments.
Sure.
Put your comments in there. We appreciate you guys as we always do. But J-Bo wants to know what you think about the total at 48.5. What do you want? Or what do you think about it? Doesn't mean you have to be taking it, but you have to have some thoughts on it.
I definitely lean under here. I think this game, just kind of like I said, this game's going to kind of slow down these extra drives. There's going to be some long drives here. And I think this number is just a little bit too high.
Interesting. Ben, over to you. What do you like in this game?
Well, unfortunately, there's not going to be much switch up from the last breakdown to mine because I have a lot of similar thoughts to a lot of what JD just said. I think that talent-wise across the entire roster, you talk about from every position, I do believe the Eagles have the better team overall. Not in every spot, though. That's the one thing I disagree with because clearly the Chiefs have the better quarterback. No one's going to deny that. He's just always clutch when it comes down to it. I am taking the Eagles, but I have to admit I'm not super confident. I'm making my Super Bowl pick because it's a Super Bowl pick. You have to pick a side. I am going to go with the Eagles here. I do think Saquon Barkley, he's at 442 rushing yards in 3 postseason games now. It seems like he's unstoppable. And that Eagles offensive line, even losing Kelsey this offseason, like they've still just been so good. They've been so dominant at making holes for him. Like, sure, a lot of that is the talent of Saquon, but you have to give credit to that offensive line who has protected Hurts so well, given him the ability to scramble when he needs to. And then on top of just opening up all these holes for Saquon to break off these huge 30-yard runs, like I just can't help but having the feeling he's going to have a dominant game. The Chiefs are going to have to start stacking the box. And then at that point, it will be up to Jalen Hurts to make those few big throws. And we saw in the Super Bowl in 2 years ago, we saw him throw for 304 yards. He had a great game through the air. He didn't have a pick. He threw a 45-yard completion. He was completing a few big, long throws. I feel like that's what we're going to see. The second that the Chiefs start trying to kind of leak up a few guys to help out with the run game, Hurts has to make those big throws. So this game comes down to, can he make those big throws when they matter most? And then it comes down to me, the fourth down plays. I think that would be a big thing here because anytime the Eagles get 4th and 2, 4th and 1, it's almost automatic. We haven't seen anyone, consistently stop the tush push. And especially in a big game, the biggest game of the season, having that automatic 4th and 2, 4th and 1 conversion just feels like such an advantage. So all that said, the only real edge I give here for the Chiefs is Mahomes, which is a pretty big edge to be fair, and then coaching. Andy Reid is going to coach circles around Sirianni, and that's what scares me the most about this play. Andy Reid's going to dial something up. He always does. Sirianni, I have absolutely no faith in this big game. But that being said, I'm going to trust the talent on the rosters. I'm going to trust Saquon in that offensive line. So I will be on the Eagles, but still a little bit hesitant about it.
Man, my guy Brunson Stinks is all the way the hell in the Eagles here. You're dropping some absolutely wild comments. Jammer, please tell me you have a difference of opinion. Give me something other than what the first two have said. What do you got in this game?
Well, you came to the wrong place because I'm going to be echoing just about everything you just heard. But for real, nobody on this show has probably been more behind this Philadelphia team more than me probably this season.
You've been on them all year. You've been on them pretty consistently.
I've come on here consistently each week saying that I think that this might be the best team in the NFL, definitely the best team in the NFC. And I saw this coming. I knew that they were going to make the Super Bowl, and it's almost hard for me to not back them here. Their defense is elite. We have high-flying players at all 3 levels. They have a fantastic offense. As we know, Saquon Barkley got 3rd in MVP voting last night. We'll probably never see a running back win MVP in the next 15, 20 years, but he made about as good of a push as you can for that award. But back to this Philadelphia defense, which I think is going to be the deciding factor in this game. They're top 5 in just about every single category you can think about, but most importantly, they're first in passing yards, they're first in yards per play, they're first in opponent first downs. But then, very importantly here, they're top 5 in third down defense and red zone defense, which is typically where this Kansas City team thrives. But on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, what more is there to say outside of Saquon Barkley? This Chiefs defense, man, has been gashed in each of their last 5 games. Even my Steelers ran well against them. So I think Saquon's going to be a high priority on both sidelines here. Do I think that he's going to pass his 109.5 total rushing prop? I'm not really too sure about that one. We might have to stick around to best bets to see where I feel about that. But in the last 20 seasons, only 5 running backs have ran for over 100 yards in the Super Bowl. So it's a tough task. And I think someone in the chat said Chiefs have never allowed a 100-yard rusher in 18 playoff games. Jonathan Tager. That is a wild stat as well. So it's going to be a tall task for this Eagles offense. But like I think it was JD said, this game is going to come down to pace of play and time of possession. And what the Eagles do is they just drain that clock. They run up and down the field, converting third downs, converting fourth downs, and they just let that clock chew away. So for me, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, like someone else said. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, probably whoever has the ball last, but I'm liking the Eagles here. I think that they have the better team all around outside of quarterback and head coach, just like Ben said, but just the better team overall, better defense, better well put all around. So for me, I'm going to be back in the Philadelphia Eagles here. Sorry, Swifties. Sorry, three-peaters. Sorry, Peter Schrager. We're going with the Philadelphia Eagles here.
Hefe. Please tell me you're on the same side as me, and I don't have to hear any more bullshit on the Philadelphia Eagles side. The one thing I want to say to you, Hefe, did last night make you feel a little weary if, let's say, you are on the Chiefs? Because as Giants fans, it has been the worst year as a Giant fan in my 32 years on this earth. Let's think about it. Worst season we've had in I don't know how long. And then our idol, New York's own hero, Eli Manning, does not get in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Does this mean that they're going to complete the sweep and have the Eagles and Saquon Barkley win the Super Bowl to absolutely bury us Giants fans 6 feet under? What do you think? Did that make you a little weary potentially on betting this game? And who do you have in this game?
No, I
Get
put
out.
my
Get out. Get
Oh, boy.
out.
I once again, man, I've been told stay on script. I could rant for
This
the
is
next 40 minutes.
This is your rant time. This is where I've drawn this up for you.
I gotta stay on script here. Listen. No, yesterday did nothing for me. I can't get any lower than I am as a Giants fan, to be honest with you. My therapist won't allow it, and honestly, it can't get any worse. I'm ready. I'm below the basement. I'm living under the damn house at this point in the little cubby hole, like with the freaking raccoons.
Okay.
Here's what last night had no interest. Actually, it had one little interest to me. Do you realize that the offensive player of the year last year, who it was?
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. Do you realize who the MVP last year was?
Lamar Jackson.
Who did the Chiefs beat in the AFC Championship last year?
Bills.
The Ravens.
And
who did they beat this year? The Bills. Who's the MVP this year? Josh Allen. Who did they beat in the Super Bowl last year? The 49ers. Who won the Offensive Player of the Year this year? Saquon. So, that's the only thing that kind of went into my head. That has nothing to do with anything. That's just a fun fact that has absolutely no pertinent value to where I'm going with this game. The Eagles are the better team. They have the better defense, 100%. Honestly, probably at all 3 levels. I love McDuffie, but I think the Eagles secondary as a whole is better than the Chiefs secondary. Let's go to the other side of the ball. Offensive line, I got to give it to the Eagles. Pretty much every skill position, other than the obvious quarterback, which we're not even going to get into an argument about, the Eagles are better. But this is not week 7 or 8 or 9 or 12 or 14. This is the Super Bowl. And more than ever this year, and I know it's not just a this year thing, but I've noticed that coaching is the most important in the NFL. NBA, you can get away with having a mediocre coach. Baseball, I don't even know if coaching matters. Football is so important, especially when it comes to showing things that you haven't seen before. I was reading this report from Joe Brady, who's the offensive coordinator. I'm sorry, not Joe Brady. I'm blanking out who the defensive coordinator for the Bills was, but he was saying that he was seeing looks from the Chiefs, offensive schemes and play calls that they haven't seen all year on any game tape. You think they ain't holding on to some things that the Eagles haven't seen? For the last 2 Super Bowls, we've all heard of the play corn dog or dip that or whatever, the Tony touchdown here, the Sky Moore touchdown there, plays that we've never seen, Mecole Hardman last year, plays that we haven't seen before. Here's the thing. Eagles are better. On paper, they should be bigger than 1.5 favorites. But this man, 15, he does not make mistakes in the playoffs. Flat out. Listen to these freaking stats. Career playoff stats, 20 games, 17-3, straight up. First overall in passing grade. First overall in rushing grade, which nobody talks about how great of a rusher he is in the playoffs. Everybody talks about, he doesn't give up in the sidelines and he gets those penalties. But let me tell you something. He be getting yards. 50-8 touchdown to interception ratio. That's absurd. This is how it's going to go. This game's going to be close. I think there's not enough talk about how great Spags is as a defensive coordinator. Game plan for him is simple. Load the box. They already play man-to-man a lot. Now, Hurts is really good against man-to-man. He's the 5th best quarterback this year against man-to-man. But what he's not going to see coming are the dialed-up blitzes that are going to be disguised as man. I know we're not getting to player props now, but I have one for some sacks because I think that's how you're going to win this game for the Chiefs. Make Jalen Hurts panic in the pocket. Bottle him up and make him make a mistake. At the end of the day, I've been saying this all playoffs. It's the teams that are more likely to make a mistake they're going to lose. I think the Eagles are more likely to make a mistake than the Chiefs are. At the end of the day, give me Pat Mahomes with the ball, 2 minutes left, 1 timeout, down 3. I can turn the TV off because I know he's going to drive it down and score. I'm taking the Chiefs on the money line. They're going to get the 3-peat. I think the coaching is more important than ever. And it's also something to be said about 2 years ago. It kind of was the same rhetoric about this Eagles team. Better defense. They had a better offensive line then than now. They still had Kelsey back then. You guys want to talk about the tush push? That was when they were crushing the tush push. And I get it. Now they have Saquon. And Jalen Hurts might even be a better quarterback than he was back then. But is Nick Sirianni still their main play caller? I know that Spags can outcoach him on that side of the ball. I'll take my chances on offense with Patrick Mahomes versus a Vic Fangio-led defense, which I have a lot of respect for. Chiefs money line.
I agree with you 1,000%. I think everyone knew that was coming. I've been screaming, it's the Chiefs, it's the Chiefs, it's the Chiefs for, 2 weeks now. Or no, since the day after they knocked out the Bills. This Chiefs team, how do you guys bet against them? Genuinely asking. No matter what the stakes, no matter what the game, if it's a playoff NFL football game, you're going to give Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo 2 full weeks to prepare against Vic Fangio, who's been bounced around, in every team here. The big moment is where the big coaching comes out, and in NFL, coaching is the most important sport, in my opinion. I think Steve Spagnuolo is going to have this Chiefs defense blitzing, and hiding their different blitzes and different schemes, which he does so well. We all saw them pull out a late play against the Bills and Josh Allen where they brought the house at the end of the play and did a completely different blitz scheme than they ran all year long. I think the Chiefs have been saving it, and the Chiefs have been saving big-time plays for this game. I just can't bet against them when it's the Chiefs in the playoffs. I learned my lesson. I'm the first one to say it. I was on the Bills last round. You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, unless Tom Brady's on the other side. So give me the Eagles here. No, do not give me the Eagles. Do not do that at all. Do not do that. Give me the Chiefs on the money line, guys. I really think we see another vintage Patrick Mahomes performance. We see a vintage Steve Spagnuolo called defensive game. And don't forget, guys, Steve Spagnuolo has won championships his whole career before he was with the Chiefs. He picked up 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator with a little team called, the New York Football Giants. This guy knows what he's doing. Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL right now. And I do think exactly what Hefe said. The turnover margin is going to be the difference in this game. Does Patrick Mahomes turn the ball over? Usually not. Can you get a turnover out of Jalen Hurts? Do I think that they could confuse Jalen Hurts on a couple plays to where he doesn't see what's actually in front of him and he makes a big mistake? I could see that happening as well. So give me the Chiefs on the money line. It's definitely my favorite play here. Before we go into our top props, there's been a ton of comments here. A ton of people chiming in. We appreciate every single person tuning in. From the guys up here, any comments you guys want to address before we move into our top props of the game?
Yeah, I wanted to address one here. Let me put it up. As far as the teaser goes, I actually do think there's a great teaser here for this game. As far as totals, that's something that I normally would not tease. But for this game, I don't mind a Eagles and tease the Eagles up, and then actually tease then tease that total up also. This actually teaser here, John, man, teasing the Chiefs back through 0. I don't understand.
Never do that.
Never tease through the 0. By the way, the number one rule about teasers is you never go through the 0. And then also
you lose a point.
And then also, like you're saying, Chiefs and actually under. If you like the Chiefs, then I think you have to like the over here. To me, this is a Chiefs plus the over game, and it's a Eagles and that's an Eagle and under game.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I kind of disagree with you.
This is not true. By this comment, by the way.
I don't have the mental health. I don't have the mental health. I just
Joe, you know I love you, brother. That defense is what won us.
Go on freaking YouTube, okay, and just watch a couple playoff game highlights. All right, all you freaking remember is one freaking play with David Tyree catching the ball. But no, let me not even do it. I'm gonna calm down. I want to address the what JD just said about the under. And I don't know who said it. I can't honestly remember. One of you guys in your game breakdown was talking about how the Eagles are known for their long, methodical drives, kind of crushing the clock, right? Jammer, great. The Chiefs are known for the same thing. The Chiefs had no explosive plays this season. Their whole game plan was 2nd and 5, Worthy for 6 yards. 2nd and 6, Kelsey for 7 yards. They're Patrick Mahomes on first down running for 8 yards, and then freaking Pacheco getting the first down. I actually think that both of these teams play towards methodical, long 6-7 minute drives.
I agree.
I think it's an under no matter which side you lean on, Eagles money line or Chiefs money line. I don't see a 40-yard pass in this game. Maybe if one of these teams is down 2 touchdowns, then I'll say fine because they have to chuck it. But as long as this game is within 10 points, I don't think we're going to see an explosive. It's going to be methodical drives because let me tell you something. The number one game plan of both of these head coaches is to not give the ball to the other side.
100%.
On the other side, the Eagles will just run it down your throat and kill clock. And on the opposite side, the Chiefs will just slowly kill you with a couple wounds. I just want to say that. I like the under a lot here. I just I'm more confident with the Chiefs. Because at the end of the day, I have too much respect for both these offenses, and Jalen Hurts is really good against man-to-man.
Yep, I agree with you there. And one more comment I did want to bring up. I know we spoke about the defenses that the Chiefs have played. The toughest defense they played in this postseason has probably been Buffalo. Look at who the Eagles have beaten. They beat Washington, who was the worst defense in the entire playoffs. They beat the Rams, who don't have a great defense, and they beat Green Bay, who also average defense. So I don't think either of these teams have seen a great defense in the postseason so far. They're both going to see a great defense in this game, though, and that'll be interesting to see which team handles the opposing team's defenses the best. All right, boys. Well, that's going to do it for our game breakdown, but you guys know we have a bunch of other things to go over in this show. So, boys, I want everyone to think of their favorite prop. Well, not think of it, your favorite prop. You've already done that. But to bring to the table your favorite prop right now, we're going to go reverse order. Last time we went JD and across. This time we're going to start with Hefe. Hefe, what is your favorite prop in this game?
All right, so I got 2 player props that are my favorite. I picked one from each side. He's not wrong about that. Still a first down. Congrats to Josh Allen, by the way. We haven't spoken about that, but I don't know if you guys saw the voting breakdown. That was nuts.
Yep, I saw it.
Did you see the one voter that gave Lamar a 4th place?
Yeah.
That guy and the guy who didn't vote for Ichiro need to be just absolutely taken out of this country. I digress. Anyway.
Also, wait. Before you move on, because I'm still not over the Eli thing, they need to publish who voted for what. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think that should be
Why
around
the hell
the board.
do you get to make a vote on who makes the Hall of Fame, but you get to be hidden? To be hidden. That means it could be rigged. Show me who voted for who so I know who to hate. Continue.
Agreed.
I apologize.
Agreed. Totally agree. It should be public knowledge.
In both sports,
Yes,
football
both
and baseball.
sports. Yeah, screw it. Make it hockey too. Why not?
Nobody
All right,
cares. Okay.
there we go. All right, I got a prop from each side. Let's start with Philly. So going on pretty much what I've said, I think Spagnuolo is going to run a defensive scheme that is going to be conducive to man-to-man defense, load the box, do whatever you possibly can. He did get robbed, but he had a really bad end to his season in PS2.
He was hurt.
Anyway, I think Spagnuolo is going to be putting pressure, loading the box to do whatever he can to keep the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands and make him win this game one way or another. I see a lot of disguised blitzes. I see Jalen Hurts looking for quick outs and safety nets. Who's Jalen Hurts' safety net? Dallas Goedert. Wild card round, 4 catches. Divisional round, 4 catches. Conference chip. Game got out of hand. He had 7 catches. Over 4.5 receptions is my favorite player prop for the Eagles on Dallas Goedert. I think you'll be seeing a lot of those outs, quick outs, slant routes, ways for Jalen Hurts to get the ball upfield. So that's my favorite prop on the Eagles side. Let's go over to the Chiefs side. I'm taking a flyer here. Xavier Worthy has been the Chiefs' best wide receiver in their 2 playoff games thus far. Hollywood Brown sprinkled in a little, and I'm only talking about wide receivers. Travis Kelce has been great throughout. But a guy that I thought would be more involved that isn't, that in my opinion is their most sure-handed wide receiver is DeAndre Hopkins. He literally has 1 catch for 11 yards combined in both games, and that just came in the last game here. His over-under is at 11.5 receiving yards. That's my favorite play on the Chiefs.
That's crazy to me. It's so low. What a fall off he has had.
Do you know what I mean? Off the top of your head, anybody can answer this. Do you guys know what his anytime touchdown prop is? Because it's
plus 650. Plus 650.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gave it.
I was the way that I've been just staring at that, because in my mind I'm like, man, 3rd down and 6. I could so see Hop on an out route to the corner of the end zone with those short hands on a 1-on-1 against big play Slay. Mahomes is going to trust that Hopkins is going to go up for that catch. I'm taking the over of 11.5 receiving yards. I think he can get it on one throw, and that's all we're looking for here. A 3rd and 6, where DeAndre Hopkins has a 1-on-1 on the sideline, 50-50 ball. Hop has the hands to make that catch. So DeAndre Hopkins over 11.5 receiving yards is my favorite play for the Chiefs. Dallas Goedert over 4.5 receptions, my favorite play for the Eagles.
Pittsburgh's finest. What you got?
So I was definitely looking at that D-Hop play, but if you look back at the snap counts, his snap counts have just been reducing each.
We just need one, Jen. We just need one.
That is true. But with Hollywood Brown coming back, it seems that he's been taking some of those snaps. But the way that I was looking at this play was I was looking at D-Hop anytime touchdown. I'm just thinking you got the most sure hands on the team. A lot of attention is going to be on Travis Kelce and probably anyone who's going in motion down there in the red zone. We know how that Andy Reid offense likes to run once they get inside the 20. I really like this plus 650 for D-Hop. I do have it written down as one of my anytime touchdowns here. But if we're going to do best props for the game, I'm looking at one guy, and that is Travis Kelce, over 6.5 receptions. We spoke about this Vic Fangio defense. He's the former head coach of the Denver Broncos. He's very familiar with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is very familiar with how he likes to run the defense. He runs a heavy zone defense and a 2-high safety look. So this is really good for Travis Kelce in the middle of the field, especially with the absence of Nakobe Dean on that Philadelphia Eagles defense. He's a mobile linebacker who would be able to cover a guy like Travis Kelce. In the absence of Nakobe Dean, this Philadelphia defense has allowed 11 receptions and 104 yards to Zach Ertz, 7 receptions, 54 yards and a touchdown. That's Tyler Higbee. I think we're going to see another dominant game out of the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. This play is plus money. I think it's like plus 125 for over 6.5 receptions. His yardage is very tempting to me as well, but I think I'm more looking here for the value and just we were saying earlier we're not going to see a lot of big chunk plays from either side in this game outside of maybe Saquon Barkley. So I'm thinking a lot of dink and dunk down the field, just him kind of breaking off those routes that he has with Patty, and him kind of using that chemistry that he's built with Patrick over the years to just find a way to get open, get a couple yards here and there. So I'm liking Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions at plus money as one of my favorite plays. And then another play that I was looking at, it's each each quarterback to throw an INT. Hefe was talking about it earlier. It's like which one of these quarterbacks is going to be the one to throw an INT and kind of help out that other team's defense. Neither of these quarterbacks have thrown an interception since November, and they're both plus money to throw one in this game. So I'm tempted to throw one on each of them. Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown a playoff INT since his debut in 2022. Patrick Mahomes hasn't thrown an INT since the last Super Bowl he was in. These guys are due. One of them's going to throw an INT. We're looking at plus money here, so one of them's going to do it.
You just gave us all the reasons to bet the other way. You gave me no reason
to
throw an interception.
It's the do method.
The do factor, bro.
Hey, we've seen these defenses. They apply the pressure. Both these quarterbacks, they have that mobile aspect to them, but they're not mobile. I think that these defenses are going to throw some sneaky looks at them. Don't look at me like that.
What do you mean they're not mobile, bro?
I mean, Jalen Hurts can run. Patrick Mahomes can waddle. He looks like he doesn't look like he's running out there. He's waddling.
You mean the guy who had 2 rushing touchdowns last week?
Yes,
or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we had the break.
That guy.
3.
They're not mobile.
All right.
They can get out of the pocket.
Any other props before we go over to Ben?
I have one for best bets.
Not the novelty prop yet, though.
Yeah. I got some other ones. I'm going to save them for best bets.
Love it. Ben, over to you, brother. What you got?
All right. I have one prop I love for each team. And the first one I kind of teased a little bit in my breakdown. I truly, honestly believe that the Chiefs' main game plan here is going to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. That will do 2 things. It will force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball, which we know the Eagles usually aren't as good this year when he has been forced to do that. And all those extra guys up front will help to slow down Saquon Barkley, of course. That's going to be a tough task, but I truly believe that's going to be the way that they at least start to attack this game. Maybe they have to make second half adjustments, but in the first half, I really think we're going to see a lot of heavy pressure up front from the Chiefs. And I believe that they're going to try and make Jalen Hurts complete these big throws instead of just letting Saquon run on the ground and just tear them apart. So
I would agree.
Me to believe that if the Eagles can get near midfield, they see a lot of pressure coming. I think they're going to take some shots, and I love taking Jalen Hurts over 31.5 longest completion. We know AJ Brown can be a big game guy. I really think that they're going to throw some deep balls. I think they're going to try and beat some potential one-on-one coverages. I mean, Smith, he's banged up for this game. I feel like you got to think he's going to give it a go. If you have both of them, there's going to be some plays. If the Chiefs are stacking the box, that at least one of them is going to have one-on-one coverage. And I think they're going to try and take a few big shots, make an early dent in this game with a big play through the air, maybe make the Chiefs think about bringing all those guys up front. It just seems like something that will be a very likely situation in the first half that we see, where there will be these opportunities for big plays. And I think Jalen Hurts can get one. In the last Super Bowl, he had a 45-yard completion against these Chiefs. And that was without Saquon Barkley. So you got to think in this one, he's going to have the opportunity. I love this play on him. I think they can get a big play to either A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, probably A.J. Brown. But I love that one. The other one I love for the Chiefs side is going to be Samaje Perine over 7.5 receiving yards.
He had the game winner last game. He had that, big game winning first down.
He had a 17-yard completion last game. He seems to be their key receiving back. Something's going on with Pacheco. I don't know if anyone truly knows. He had 5 carries in both of the playoff games. He hasn't really gotten any real action. And even when he has been kind of their receiving back when he was completely healthy, but only 5 carries. Kareem Hunt is not a receiving back. He hasn't really been getting that much action through the air. Honestly, I think if they're going to look at any screen pass or anything like that, it's going to be a play to Perine. So really, he only needs 1 reception to complete this. He had 11.5 average yards per completion during the regular season. By the way, he's hit this in 13 of his last 14 games, outright. The only one he missed was literally just the playoff game against Houston. Didn't get a big role in that one because I think they were trying to give Pacheco a go. But he hit that in 13 straight regular season games. 14 of the last 15, because now he just hit it against the Bills as well. So He has hit this number pretty much every time he's gotten even just 1 reception. So we're basically banking on him to get 1 reception in this game because his average has been highly above that. And it seems like he's getting in the double digits on those 1 receptions usually. So I love this spot for Perine. He just seems to be the receiving back guy, and Pacheco clearly is not healthy. Something's going on. They have had 2 weeks to prepare, but I think he's going to get that 1 screen play that gets us over the edge.
There we go. Any other props for you before we move over to JD?
That's all.
My main man, JD, my brother. How many props you got and what you got for me?
Let's go from one from each side. First one, the one I love the most, Ben actually broke it down great. Hurts is gonna have to throw the ball. And actually, like Ben talked about how AJ Brown is probably gonna get some good looks, and he's probably gonna be 1-on-1. And to get him to score a touchdown at plus 180, I think is just I just think that price is just off.
I'm on that as well.
And so that, as far as just my favorite prop, that is by far it. Just actually because I think the price is just so far off there. The other one, as far as on the Chiefs, it's one that I've been playing, and I just have to ride it over again. That is Xavier Worthy over 6.5 rush yards. He just keeps going over this. I like
that.
I really think last game he had 16 yards. This just keeps going over, and they just keep it low. So I'm going to continue to just actually ride that one.
I like it. Those are the two from you.
Yep.
I love it. I'll go into mine, guys. So the first one I'm going to be going over is an under prop. It's going to be Devontae Smith's under 52.5 receiving yards. I also like A.J. Brown's under as well, going to be honest here. So only in yards, though. I think A.J. Brown and Devontae could easily go over their catches and go over their catches pretty easily here. But I think the yardage is going to be low. I do think the Eagles are going to do every single thing in their power to maintain possession for as long as possible. Quick outs, 5-yard passes, moving the chains, and keeping the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands is the only way they can compete in this game, in my opinion. So I think that's what they're going to do. So there's a couple guys I really do like their under in yardage, but I like their over in receptions. It's a weird game to try and cap. But like I said, I think the Eagles are going to be targeting short yardage plays, maintain possession, and drain the clock, which hopefully will help Devontae Smith go under this 52.5. I also like A.J. Brown's totals a little bit more than I like Devontae. So my favorite play is going to be that Devontae Smith under 52.5 receiving yards. My favorite prop in the game, though, on the other side of the Chiefs, is going to be Patrick Mahomes rushing over 28.5 yards. In this game, he's going to have to create. The Eagles have a fantastic defense. He's going to have to do what he does in big moments, extend plays, and create with his legs. We saw him do it against the Bills all game long. We see it every postseason. This is what he does. In big games that are not in the regular season, he utilizes his legs quite frequently. He doesn't want to get hurt in the regular season, take unnecessary hits. But when we get to the postseason, especially the Super Bowl, we will see him move. And I do think we will see him hit over 28.5 yards. I think we could see him easily hit 40 yards in this game. There's one more prop I want to go over. It's kind of like a novelty prop, but it's not. It's a game special on FanDuel. So if you guys have FanDuel, this is a bet I absolutely love. Team to score 1 rushing touchdown and 1 passing touchdown in each half. Just for a small play, it's plus 7,500. Now, both these teams are made up to have 1 touchdown on the ground, 1 passing. They're both very balanced. I do think the Eagles are going to stack the box on their side, and on the other side, the Chiefs are also going to stack the box. The Chiefs are going to do everything in their power to not allow Saquon to run for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. I think Saquon gets in at least once rushing, and I think they're going to have to utilize the passing game. I love A.J. Brown in this game, like JD said. A short, let's say they get to the 5-yard line, the Chiefs stack the box. You have single coverage with A.J. on the outside. He's going to score, 7 out of 10 times in that scenario, and I think we will get a couple of those looks in this game. So those are my favorite props on this one. Let's go over to, this is to JD. JD is the king of hitting the first half full game switcheroony. So what do you think about this?
If you like the Chiefs, then I definitely love this prop. I can see that. That's a great price. For me, I haven't. That's a market I haven't actually looked at yet. I would be interested to see what the Eagles' first half and then actually Eagles' full game is, because that's what I would personally be on. But actually, yeah, I can definitely see Eagles winning first half and then Chiefs making doing what they do, coming back.
Have they come from behind in every Super Bowl that they've won? I know. I definitely remember they were down 10 in the first Super Bowl where they beat the Jimmy G Niners. Mm-hmm. They were down in the Eagles. I know that, but I can't remember last year. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
there you go. All right, boys. Well, there's one thing we still have to do, and that's go over our favorite novelty prop of the Super Bowl. Hefe, we're going back over to you, brother. What is your favorite novelty?
Welcome back. All right,
Welcome
man.
back.
So for novelty, I kind of wanted to just do kind of like a lotto ticket type of a wager. Started looking, and I found two that are really interesting. Let's one from each team. We'll start. As we start with the Eagles, we'll start with the Chiefs one this time. So I spoke about Spags, defense, hiding blitzes, whatever. So everybody should be familiar with defensive back Trent McDuffie for the Chiefs. He's the All-Pro. He's their best. Guys, he's played in almost 50 career games, playoffs and regular season, 48 to be exact. He has 4.5 sacks. So why am I looking at his 30-1 to record a sack prop? Because 2 out of his 4.5 sacks came in a game against the Eagles last year on Monday Night Football, where they dialed up so many freaking disguised blitzes, all out zero blitzes, that he ended up getting Jalen Hurts to the ground twice. That's my big long shot, 30-1 odds for Trent McDuffie to have 1 or more sacks.
I like that.
On the Chiefs. Eagles. I got another one. Not 30-1. This one is 9.5-1 plus 950. Jalen Hurts to have the most rushing yards after the first quarter. Obviously, I'm not crazy enough to look at first half or full game because I'm pretty damn sure that Saquon Barkley will beat him out. But I think that, and I'm sorry, I forgot who said it. The Chiefs' game plan is load the box right out of the gate, do anything but let Saquon Barkley get hot, which we've literally seen the last 2 games him rip off crazy runs in the first quarter. Yep. I think you're going to see a loaded box. I think you're going to see disguised blitzes. I think you're going to see Jalen Hurts trying to scramble out of the pocket. And in certain circumstances, because the Chiefs are going to be man-to-man in the secondary, he should have small little pockets to gain a few yards. And I think that can be sustained through the first quarter. I don't see the Chiefs having a lot of success on the run or even really adopting much of a run game in this game. So give me Jalen Hurts to lead the game in rush yards only after the first quarter, plus 950, 9.5-1 odds. Those are my 2 long shot novelty props.
Love that. Let's keep it rolling. Jammer, what you got?
Yeah, we're just gonna go with the classic Super Bowl bets that we all love to look at. So I don't have these offered in PA, but I know that these are offered at some sports books. Will there be an octopus in the Super
fuck
Bowl?
You! That was mine.
Well, you came
All
to
right.
me second. So who was the last one to do it? Jalen Hurts in the 2023 Super Bowl versus the Chiefs. I'm seeing 15-1 odds here on will there be an octopus in the Super Bowl. I think we have a lot of great candidates here. Travis Kelce would be a good one. Jalen Hurts, obviously. Saquon Barkley would be a good one for this. I just think that there's a lot of opportunity here. And both of these teams have been very successful in the past on 2-point conversions in these short yardage to go situations. So I think at 15-1 odds, if you're getting these offered at a book, you got to take it. And another Super Bowl favorite, color of the Gatorade at the end of the game. Purple's my favorite color, so I was tempted to go with the purple Gatorade. It's the best flavor there. But I think typically with these Gatorade colors at the end of the game, it's usually the one that nobody drinks, the one that nobody touches during the game because you want it to be full at the end. I'm going to be going with yellow or orange at plus 250. I
love that.
See, that's the flavor that nobody wants. So it's going to be left over for whoever wins the game. Hopefully it's the Eagles. Yellow Gatorade pouring all over Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Ben, novelty props.
Yeah, the Gatorade must have some inside info leaked because yellow, lime, green
it's moved.
Minus.
Has it really?
Yeah. Since when the hell did the Gatorade
movement
have use?
Hold on, Ben. I got a text last night at 8:30.
Yeah, no, there's inside info.
I got a text on the Gatorade color in a group chat with Hefe. Hefe, I don't know if you read that from one of our good friends. He said by the morning, this is going to move to a minus 200, minus 300. You could still get yellow Gatorade at plus 400. I read that, laughed, and went to bed. I woke up, and he was right.
There's someone's leaking something about the Gatorade. There must have one cooler in the one locker room that just says, like, this is the Gatorade for dumping, and someone looked in and it's yellow. Because the Gatorade has never had juice on it, let alone minus 200.
That's not true. That's not true, bro. That's not true. So I don't know. I know Jammer said the Gatorade, the one they dump on them, is the one that's the least drank. I think they only have one on each sideline.
Yeah.
I don't think they have.
No,
18
they got
different
flavors.
I don't
Yeah,
think
man.
they do.
No,
I think it's just
I mean,
one.
yeah, Alpha's so on something. $1 trillion industry. Not enough money for a second Gatorade.
100%.
Not enough.
100%.
They're eating
guys.
millions of Uncrustables.
This is where we cut the line. One Gatorade, both
Gatorade.
One Gatorade.
Everybody drinks yellow Gatorade.
Everybody drinks
How do you
it.
think
Share
they're paying
cup.
Mahomes' contract? They can only afford one Gatorade.
Yes, absolutely. What else you got, Ben?
All right. Well, my favorite one for real is will Donna Kelsey's show Cleveland? No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa! Plus
Someone already brought it up in
1,000.
the comments.
Plus 1,000. We all
The
saw
family
it.
show.
By the way, another line that's really weird. Plus 1,000 for Donna Kelsey show. That should be plus 10,000. What are we doing? You get 10 to 1 odds. That should be like 100 to 1. Because I can't imagine a world that's not actually.
Did you bet it? Did you bet it?
I took novelty prop a little bit differently, and I was going after like the really fun ones. And so I found one that I love that's got a good line.
Saying your guys' novelty props are
Yeah.
really not.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah, I'm
like
thinking
real
of doing a
novelty.
approach.
Yeah,
Fun
what
one.
what
And
the
this is
hell?
my
You just
serious
called
one.
my novelty prop boring.
Yeah, this is my serious one. USA Today ad meter #1 commercial. I'm taking Bud Light plus 800. You guys, Bud Light has been taking over the commercial industry. Doritos, when I was a kid, Doritos always had the best Super Bowl commercials. Like that, it was always Doritos. Bud Light's taken over. They had that awesome one last year where, you know, they like panned and it was them really in the crowd and stuff. This year, they've already been teasing the whole Shane Gillis, Post Malone thing, which was awesome. You had Manning coming on too. Like that was funny. And I think they're going to build on that. They've already been teasing it. They're going to have some huge commercials. It's going to be super funny. They're going to win it. None of the other ones look that great. Like odds-wise, Coors Light is a favorite at plus 400. Can't imagine that's going to come through. Bud Light plus 800 to have the best USA Today ad meter #1 commercial is my favorite novelty prop.
I like that.
I love that one.
There we go. I
like that
I
one,
like
man.
it. I do like it. Also, let's be honest here. The best commercials are still like the "What's up?" Bud Light commercials. Those are still the
Throwback.
best one, and there is
That's a
nothing
good
that
one.
can compete with
That's
the
true.
JD novelty props.
You know, first off, to start off with here, Ben made a great point. You see a ton of these props. I mean, literally, you can find thousands of actually these. And it may say plus 1,000, plus that. A lot of the time, that is nowhere near what the real value is.
No.
Like actually, most of these numbers you think look good, but those odds are nowhere near like where they should be. So if you're playing these, definitely play these for actually fun. Play them like small. You know, and for me, I've like looked through these quite a bit. I have a ton of them that I'm going to be playing small. And as far as the and actually as far as the Discord, as far as the pre side there, I'm actually going to drop them all there.
Maybe I'll drop mine too, because I'm gonna
So
have a big one too. Maybe I'll do it with you.
So if you're not there, you definitely need to be in there. But my favorite one, it is not a big plus money prop or nothing. It's something that you actually have to lay a little bit of juice on, but one that I think is actually going to win. And that is the total points in the Celtics and the Knicks game to be more than actually Jalen Hurts' total yards.
Get out. Get out. Literally get out.
Where did you find this?
Just go.
That was Bet Online.
Okay,
And I absolutely love that one.
Wait, more?
I like it.
More.
Is that rushing and receiving?
No. That is actually just actually passing yards.
Just passing. Okay.
Did you just say his rushing and receiving is the quarterback?
Oh, sorry,
I would
sorry.
hope not.
Passing plus rushing. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, boys. So my novelty prop just got screwed by jerk of a guy Jammer because I love it. But I'm going to be honest here. I've been looking for the octopus. So Hefe knows. Me and Hefe, we watch the Super Bowl every year for the last 20 years. I bet the octopus every year. It is my favorite bet all year. And it's hit every Super Bowl. You know what they're doing this year? I can't find a line that says, will there be an octopus? You know what you have to do? You have to pick who's going to score it this year. So
Yeah,
there's individual odds on each player. So I love the octopus. You used to get crazy odds on it, but now you're going to make me pick the guy who has to do it. I hate that. They're taking the fun out of America. You need to have the octopus where you just bet it, get anyone to score it, and you get it. So a little frustrating they took that out. Hefe and I also have a friend. Hefe, how many years in a row is it that he's hit the coin toss? How many?
I can't remember. Maybe
it's like 5 or 6 in a row where this guy doesn't miss. We all wait all year for his coin toss, and I received his pick last night.
Ooh, what is
He
it?
has gone tails, which I'm usually a heads guy, so I don't like to see tails. But last year, he picked tails, and I was like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I'm taking heads. It's the coin toss. I always do heads in a quarter flip. Well, he won yet again. So I'm not fading him again this year. He's gone tails. I'm going tails. So that's going to be my favorite novelty prop. And I'm going to be honest here. I really don't like what they've done with the octopus here. You could bet like Saquon Barkley and it's only plus 2,000. The odds are terrible. This keeps happening, so they're making it, a little different. If you want to get one guy who could do it, I would take Jalen Hurts for the chance that he gets a tush-push touchdown. Then there's an offside for the Chiefs, and they're at the half-yard line for the 2, and he just does another tush-push. So if there's anyone you want for it, Saquon at plus 2,000 is my favorite, but I don't think there's a ton of value on it this year, going to be completely honest. All right, boys. There's a couple things we still have to do, as we always do on this show. And JD, the first thing we are going to be doing is going over our Profit X pick of the day. And we have an interesting one for this game. As you guys know, we're split across the board on who we think is going to win this game. But as you can see here, Profit X does have the best value on both sides. As you can see, if you love Kansas City, you can get them at a minus 105 for upwards of, does that say 167,000?
167,000.
You can bet them at upwards of 167,000. If you like Philly at plus 104, you can only get down for $200, but you can see right there at plus 103, you can get 3,000 down. At plus 102, you can get 23,000 down. So whichever side you like, just know the best value you're going to get is going to be on Profit X. So make sure you guys check out Profit X. And JD, what is the best way they can utilize the benefits of Profit X?
You need to use promo code MBM, and that actually gives you 2% profit cash back on actually every wager. And believe me, that actually really adds up.
Absolutely. Definitely adds up. So make sure you guys use promo code MBM. Get in Profit X. You get 2% back on every play first 30 days, like JD broke down beautifully. All right, boys, still a couple things we're going to be going over on this show. The first one I do want to talk about is I want you guys to check out Beyond the Board. JD has been doing some fantastic work getting this show ready. It's airing Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon starting next week. Make sure you guys check out Beyond the Board. One more thing before we get into our best bets is the Super Bowl weekend sale for MoneyBall Metrics. $35 for your first month. As you can see, line movers went 6-0 championship weekend, plus 20 over 20 units. Footy Chancellor, shout out Footy. We all know he's betting Bayern today. We knew that. Footy Chancellor's on a 15-1 max play run. Make sure you guys get in there. Drago, I hope it's pronounced Drago, not Drago, because I always say Drago. Drago's killing it in the UFC. Make sure you guys check him out. Plus 25 units this month. And KO Locks is coming off a back-to-back college basketball sweep. Yet again, your first month, only $35. Get in the Discord. The best community out there. All right, boys, I'm tired. Next thing we're going to be going over is going to be our best bets for Super Bowl Sunday. Hefe, for the love of God, give your best bets so I can stop talking.
Best bets, I'll say them again. We're going to take the Chiefs on the money line. We're going to take Goddard over 4.5 receptions. We're going to take DeAndre Hopkins over 11.5 receiving yards. And we're going to take my little lottery ticket there on Jalen Hurts to have the most rushing yards after the first quarter at plus 950 odds.
There we go. Jammer, what you got, baby?
All right. Leading off, who's going to win the game? I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles here. Peter Schrager's correctly picked, the last 5 or 6 Super Bowl winners. He's bound to be wrong, and it's going to be this season. We got the Eagles. Spoke on this play earlier. Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions at plus money. It's just too good not to take here. This one's a little juicy, but I do really like it. Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's done it at every single Super Bowl he's been in outside of the Tampa Bay game where he struggled. But I just don't see them getting it done on the ground. I think that they're going to have to get everything done from Patty's hands. So over 1.5 passing touchdowns, a little juice. It's only juice if it loses. So
there we go.
And this is probably my favorite play of the game. Spoke about it earlier. Saquon Barkley, how are we going to attack this? Is he going to get 100-plus yards? We've only seen it done 5 times in the last 20 seasons. Not a lot in recent history. I think Damian Williams was the last one to do it for the Kansas City Chiefs. Saquon Barkley over 21.5 rushing attempts. I'm not touching his yards. I'm not touching his touchdown, which is also super juicy. I'm going to be taking his rushing attempts. I think he's going to be the main focal point for this Eagles team. Try and keep the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands. You don't want to turn the ball over. You want to dominate the line of scrimmage, and you want to dominate pace of play. So I think Saquon's going to be the biggest X factor of the game. So I like his rushing attempts here. Just try and drain that clock down and limit Patrick Mahomes' possessions. So those are the 4 plays that I got for you guys.
There we go. Benny Boo Boo. What you got?
All right, starting off with the side, I also have the Eagles here. I did admit I'm not super confident, but it's the Super Bowl, so it has to be a best bet. So I'm also taking the Eagles because it's the last football game of the year. And then I have a prop on each side, which I talked about earlier. Hurts over 31.5 yard, longest completion. I really do think that comes home through A.J. Brown. Most likely is the way I see it, but who knows. And then also Samaje Perine over 7.5 receiving yards. Talked about that one. I love that one. I think that we have a little injury for Pacheco that hasn't been fully talked about.
Bro, he's coming off a broken leg.
He is coming off a broken leg.
That is the injury that is going on.
But when you came back,
nobody's talking about it, Alpha. Nobody knows.
Well, you would think when you come back, you're healthy enough to get more than 5.
No, he came back early.
Well, he's only getting 5 carries a game. You'd think you'd get more than 5 carries a game if Isaiah Pacheco was going to play. But no, he's gotten 5 in back-to-back. Kareem Hunt is not really a pass-play guy. Therefore, it leaves us with Samaje Perine, who only needs 1 reception to clear this. He's at 11.5 receiving yards on average per reception this year. Those are my 3 best bets for you.
There we go. JD?
We're going with the Eagles minus 2.5 at plus 124. Absolutely love actually that one. And actually then as far as the prop goes, we already talked about it. You can get A.J. Brown anytime touchdown at plus 180. The price on that to me is just wildly off. And also I do have to say I have been running hot and I do have a prop that I absolutely love. And then I have another, not technically a side play, but something like it that I absolutely love. So take advantage of actually that sale and actually join us and let's cash.
Let's cash, boys. Let's go over my best bets and we'll put on the screen everyone's best bets. I'm on the Kansas City Chiefs money line. See you guys after they win. Devontae Smith, under 52.5. See you after that cashes. Patrick Mahomes, over 28.5 rushing yards. See you 4 minutes into the game after he breaks off a 40-yard run. One comment I keep seeing from a bunch of people here where people are saying, does Travis Kelce retire? No, he made it very clear in his press conference yesterday. He said, I'm playing out my contract. There's a 0% chance I'm retiring. He's absolutely not retiring. He made it extremely clear that he is not. Anyone have any other thoughts about that?
This guy's gone Hollywood. He's seen how much free time his brother has. He's probably jealous at all the free time that he's got. Travis has got to practice. He's got to do all these Hollywood shows that he does. He's got to do his podcast. He's got to, date a superstar and Taylor Swift. This guy needs more time. I think he retires after the game, and he just goes Hollywood on us.
I'll put the alpha guarantee he does not retire. I don't think he does.
No, he's done.
He's not retiring.
He's done.
Yes, he is.
No chance. No
Alpha,
chance.
you don't think his interview is all smoke and mirrors and he's just setting it up so that it makes his retirement bigger because people aren't expecting it?
No. I think he made it very clear.
Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. JD's actual favorite prop bet is that Travis Kelce will propose to Taylor Swift with confetti falling, plus 10,000 odds, and will announce his retirement.
He's going to play out his contract.
Guys, look, the bets, like I said, I've actually dug into these bets, Steve. You can bet on what the ring size is actually going to be. Actually, like how many
I knew it was your favorite best bet. I wasn't joking.
It really is, man.
I'm putting this over your faces. I cannot believe you guys are debating this right now. As you guys can see,
it was a question.
All the winning bets are on the top left. Nowhere else. Take your phones out.
Look at the right side.
I'm technically
Get
top
your
left
screenshots.
too.
What are you? Nope, you're wrong too. Take your phones out. Get your screenshots. You guys know I'm just messing with you. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. It's going to be a great game. There are tons of props. I hope everyone enjoys the Super Bowl as much as I do. Hefe, I know I will be with you, stuffing my face with 50,000 pounds of pizza and wings and dips and cheeses. I cannot wait for the Super Bowl. I hope everyone out there enjoys the Super Bowl as well. Everyone has to do a final thought. This is the final episode of the NFL show on Across the Board until next season. We'll start bottom right, coming up to the top, and I'm obviously going to let my main man, JD, finish it. But Hefe, any parting words from you to the people?
Yeah. It's the big game this weekend. Really, really big game. Prime time, at night. We all know who I'm talking about. The Knicks and the freaking Celtics. Give me the Knicks freaking money line. They're taking it down. We don't need OG. If we win without OG, we're going to the championship.
Boom. Jammer, parting words for the people before we get the hell out of here.
It's been an honor sharing the Friday spot with all you guys. Hefe, thanks for joining us this week. I do have to say I have a close friend in my friend group that I'll be watching the game with on Sunday who has a $15 ticket to win $30,000 if the Kansas City Chiefs win. I'm obviously on the Eagles here, but I will not be mad if Kansas City wins. He's got a good ticket.
What was do you know off the top of your head? Like what was it like?
Oh, yeah.
Different like champions.
So last season he picked Scotty Scheffler to win some tournament. I don't know, probably the Masters. He had Boston Celtics,
Florida Panthers.
No, he had Boston Celtics to win the championship last season, and then he had UConn men's basketball to win the NCAA men's tournament. And then this is the final leg. I can't tell. There's no name.
Give me the initials, because I'll probably know who it is.
No, you wouldn't know. JF.
Okay, I won't. No, I don't know a JF besides
Hefe
pick.
Well, man, so he's just curious, not even thinking about taking on the cash out offer. Is there a cash out offer?
Oh, there's a big cash out offer, but he's hedging. He's rooting for the big ticket. Yeah, he's rooting.
There we go. But he's not being an insane person.
Yeah, at least he's gonna hedge.
He's winning a minimum of $10,000. So.
Good for him. Good for him.
He's in a good spot. He's in a good spot.
Because let me tell you, want to know how to ruin my Super Bowl? Don't hedge it, and I'm just sitting there not eating a damn thing. I'm drinking freaking Pedialyte because my stomach is turning.
There we go. So, Jammer, what is your final word here before we go to bed? With the final word.
Final word. Let's go, Kenny Pickett. Let's win a Super Bowl for the boys.
God damn it. Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, it was an awesome NFL season. Obviously there's only one game left, but, we have March Madness coming up soon in a little over a month. Baseball starting, NBA is still going. The playoffs will come eventually. I know we're not at the All-Star break yet, but we're just thinking of the future here because even though the Super Bowl is only a few days away, there's still big things to come. So thank you guys for being here for the whole season, but we love that you guys are here and we have lots to come.
There we go. Love that out of you, Ben. Love that out of you. Final words from me. We appreciate everyone for the entire season. It's been an absolute blast getting on with you gentlemen all year. We had an absolute blast with the comments. The guys in the comments, we appreciate every single one of you. Yet again, it's been an absolute blast, but we're not going anywhere. We'll see you next week for more breakdowns. JD, you got to do the thing. I'm not even going to say when you're fine. You got to do the thing.
Well, first off, I actually just want to thank all of y'all here. This season has been so much fun. This show has been so much fun. The show has grown so much more than I ever thought it would have. And so, yes, I want to thank y'all. And then even more importantly, I want to thank this actual chat for actually all of y'all for showing up and actually watching every show. Thank you all so much. As far as actually content, just like Alpha said, just like Ben said, we definitely have more coming. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun here. Then to end this out, y'all know what's going to happen. Go Eagles. Let's fucking win.
Chiefs by 90. Let's fucking win. We'll see you guys next week. Everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. Peace.
Peace.